and welcome to the Belfry. This is the Brabazon Golf Course, the par 5 third hole. My name is Chris Ryan, and in this video we're looking at how you can get more speed out into the club head, which is ultimately going to help you hit the ball further when you're out on the golf course. Just before we get started, in the corner of the screen you should have the details for my social media accounts, so if you don't already, then please go ahead and follow me on those. So we're talking in this video about a little bit more club head speed, and it's a deceleration drill. We'll explain a little bit more in a moment what that is, but ultimately what we're trying to do is get the speed or the energy that's in your body out into the golf club a little bit more efficiently. And this is something that I don't see enough golfers do well enough. Often we can have speed in the body, but that speed never quite gets transferred through out into the golf club. Now, this little drill is really, really good for golfers to start to understand exactly how that process is going to happen. Having lots of speed, and that can be speed in your body, lots of speed in your arms, lots of speed in your hands, doesn't necessarily mean that the club head is going to have a lot of speed down at the impact area. How well we decelerate is a key component in how quickly the golf club travels. So if we were to look at that in a slightly different way, I'm sure many of you have seen, or maybe in the past, cracked a whip. Now if we do that, the speed at which I move my hand in this direction doesn't really create the whip. I can move my hand pretty quickly in this direction, but I can't create that whip. I can only create that whip if I increase the speed, but then quickly decelerate that speed. If I can quickly slow down my hand, that transfers the energy through out into the whip. Simply moving the hand quickly towards my intended target won't necessarily generate the most amount of energy through into the end of the whip in that case, but obviously in golf it's the golf club. So increasing the speed is important, yes, absolutely, but really decelerating at quite a high speed is going to help the energy get transferred through out into the golf club. Now, just before we go through what the drill is, I certainly don't want golfers to start to stop the pivot, stop the rotation in an attempt to get the speed out there. This little drill is going to get you to do that to an extent, but it's really just for you to sort of sense and feel how we're going to slow the body down in an attempt to get the speed out into the golf club. So here's what we're going to do. I've got a mid-iron, and I'm just going to take my normal starting position. And really what I want you to do, and this is best done certainly on the practice range or on the practice area, is I want you to try and hit your mid-iron about half distance through the air. So for me with a 6-iron it's about 90-95 yards. So I'm going to try and hit this about half distance, and I want you to try and get the golf club to stop as soon as you can post impact. So as soon as I've hit that ball, my job or my goal is to get the club head to stop as close to the ball as I can. Now for many golfers who don't decelerate well enough and don't transfer the energy well enough, they can hit that golf ball maybe only 30 to 40 yards, so quite a short distance, and they really struggle to stop the club before it reaches almost the end of their follow-through. So what they're really trying to do is they're just trying to accelerate. There is no deceleration in there. And I often see golfers really struggle with this. And these are often the golfers who struggle with the pitching and the chipping because they don't necessarily have as much control over the golf club as we would like. The better golfers would find that they can hit that ball, as we said, about half distance, but they can really start to control the golf club, decelerate better, and that is a fantastic way to put more energy into that golf club. Let me go ahead and show you. I've just realised that when I'm going to do this ball's going to land in that lake, but that's absolutely fine because the lake is around about that 100 yards away. So I'm going to take my starting position. I'm going to hit this ball 100 yards through the air and stop as soon as I can post impact. Okay, and that ball, I don't know if you can see the splash in the lake, but it's probably gone somewhere in the region of about 100, 110 yards. But you can see just how quickly I was able to stop that golf club. The reason for that is what I did is I used my pivot and my body to generate some energy. And then very, very quickly I stopped that, which allowed the club to overtake at a high speed. Hopefully the camera picked up that ball flight and where it landed, because it did go a good distance. This is something which I find gives a lot of success with golfers, but it also highlights a lot of areas where golfers maybe need to improve. As I said, the most common one I see is a ball which is going half distance, but the golfer really can't control the speed of the golf swing. They can't control the body. The club ends up in that full follow-through position, even though that ball is only going some 30, 40 yards. You will often notice how many of the best golfers that you watch on TV will hit their mid-iron, so 6 irons, some 190 yards, 200 yards through the air, and they can quite comfortably finish their golf swing in this position. That golf club does not need to be wrapped around your neck to suggest that you've created a lot of speed. Efficient speed down at impact is what we're after. If we have efficient speed, we can very often stop that golf club quite soon after the golf ball, and that's really going to help us achieve that. If you find that difficult, stage number 1 would be to do it without the golf ball. So as you can see here, I've got no golf ball, but I'm going to make that swing. And you can see just how quickly I can get that golf club to stop. I'm trying to generate as much speed as I can, but stop as quickly as I can. Really, really good way to get some energy and some speed into that golf club, and that is only going to help you hit that golf ball further. Not an easy drill, but it's a drill which I see golfers improve at, and when they improve at that, I often see an increase in clubhead speed, and that increase in clubhead speed transfers to ball speed, and that transfers to, ultimately, distance when they're out on the golf course. If we can understand how to put energy into the golf club, how to create some speed in that golf club, and do it in the right way, what we should find is we can hit the ball further, but we don't lose any control. We don't suddenly start to spray the golf ball more offline because we're not doing it out of control, we're doing it under control, and that is the best way to play golf. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully it's something you can do at the practice area. Don't take that to the course. Leave it to the range. It's something which you can do in practice. It's hopefully going to help you understand a little bit more how to get some energy into the club. It's definitely going to help you put some speed into the golf club, and that is going to help you play some better golf. Thank you very much for watching. All the usual stuff is down below. There's a like button, there's a comments box, there's a subscribe link down there as well. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do so, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks again for watching, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.